CEO of the Community Counseling Center, Wendy Ice, joins me on the live line. We're talking about a conference coming up in July. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Free Behavioral Health and Wellness Conference. Where is this going to happen?
So it's going to be on July 23rd, and we're hosting it there at the Show Me Center in Cape Girardeau, and we're calling it the Thriving Together, a Community Behavioral Health and Wellness Conference.
Awesome. Is this just for professionals or is it for everyone?
Absolutely not. It's actually what we're gearing this towards is non-professionals. So it is free and open to the public, and we're hoping that we'll have educators, law enforcement, caregivers, clients themselves attend. It is really meant for the general public.
Okay. So behavioral health could mean anything from A to Z.
Exactly. So, and that is really what we're hoping to do. You know, we're going to offer, not only do we have a couple great keynote speakers lined up for the event, but we're going to have 17 different breakout sessions, and they're geared towards topics related to mental health, substance use, suicide prevention, youth and families, and then overall wellness and resiliency. So a variety of topics because, like you just said, behavioral health encompasses a lot.
You know, and there are people who have something terrible happen to them, and they're climbing out of this hole, and then wham, here comes another thing, and it just smacks them right back down the hole, and they're trying to climb out, and then wham, they get hit with something else, and they kind of lose hope, don't they?
Yes. We see that a lot, and we're seeing more and more of that. We're seeing a lot of increase in conditions like depression and anxiety, but just general depression and anxiety, not someone that has to be diagnosed with a mental health condition, but they're just struggling. And so you don't have to necessarily walk through a treatment facility to get help. An event like this can provide resources and tools to help someone in their life.
Well, I'm almost shocked that everyone isn't depressed with social media. I mean, it's it's almost like a given. You just sit on that for an hour. You get off, you're like, I need a drink. All right, so it's bad.
Yes, and that's actually one of the breakout sessions is social media and the impact we're seeing on youth. So that is one of the breakouts that will be offered.
Okay, so you must have decided to do this because the need is great.
It is. You know, we completed our behavioral health community needs assessment in the fall, and what we heard in every county we visited was that community education and bringing resources available and, you know, right there accessible to community members is a huge need. So this was one way that we could actually address that.
Yeah, and you're bringing in some pretty good speakers. I was reading their biographies. They are going to be very interesting.
Yes. We have Josh Varner coming, and he is actually going to be our opening keynote, and his presentation is going to be on managing the unmanageable and just handling everyday stress, which I think there's not a person out there that couldn't benefit from that. And then we also have Rebecca Gregory, who was a survivor of the Boston Marathon bombing. She also is the founder of Rebecca's Angels, but she's going to be presenting on her experience surviving, overcoming trauma, and really kind of building her life back through resiliency. So we think it's going to be an inspiring way to kind of end the conference.
Yeah, because she says she wasn't supposed to survive. When I was reading up on her, she's not supposed to be here, but here she is. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So anybody who's interested in this, I mean, you don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. If you have someone in your family you might be worried about, you're not quite sure what to say or how to approach it, because, I mean, I'm just going to admit it. I can be a little rough when people are doing something stupid. I'm like, what are you, stupid? You know, I have to sometimes watch myself with tender children and people who may be just one bad word away from just saying, that's it, I can't do this anymore.
Right. Yes.
So, you know, this would be a good thing for people to go learn how to approach that. But walking on eggshells ain't going to fix anybody. They still have to be able to handle the truth.
Yeah, and you know, what we're really hoping is the communities get comfortable with talking about behavioral health and realizing that at any point in anyone's life you can struggle with the behavioral health issue. And so really you don't have to be experiencing anything to attend this conference. You may just want education. You just may want to connect with others. You may just need some inspiration yourself and to walk out feeling good at the end of the day. So we're hoping we're going to have the presentations, but we have like over 30 vendors and community resources that are going to be set up. and a little bit of something for everyone, from Aging Matters to Gateways to Hope to Sadie. There's a yoga organization that's going to be there, health department. So we're going to have a lot of resources available, and a couple little neat, we're going to have Hearts for Hooves from Matthews, Missouri, come out with some micro mini horses, and
Aww.
Max's Missions bringing some fur babies. And so we're going to have a lot of different opportunities for hopefully people to learn, but to walk out feeling, inspired and full of hope at the end of the day.
It's free, but you do have to register.
You do have to register. It's really important just for logistics. We're providing lunch for everyone. We do need to make sure our breakout sessions have adequate space. So we do need people to register, and they can do that at our website at www.cccntr.com. And you go to our events page, and you can sign up there, choose your breakout sessions. We're also blasting this on our social media, our Facebook page, so people can learn how to register there. But yes, it is very important for individuals to register for the event.
We had a very nice lady handing out flyers at Freedom Fest too, so you had that going on.
Yes.
So, I grew up with, everybody had behavioral health issues. We're Gen X, man. We were all feral. So we all had these weird personalities, and how we're still alive, I do not know. But, we all grew up just not talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to be in your 50s, it's part of you.
Yeah.
And that's hard to deal with.
It is. And we're seeing that more and more. And we're also, honestly, we're seeing younger ages struggling. We've seen an increase with youth. And so, we're hoping we're just going to have a lot of good information and education that can help anyone, even if you don't have a family member. If you may run into somebody in the community that's struggling, you'll know better how to handle that.
You never know what you don't know, so go get some
You're
knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So it's free. Tell them the when and the where once more, Wendy.
Okay, it's going to be July 23rd at the Show Me Center there in Cape Girardeau. And again, it's free because of our sponsors. We're SEMO University, Show Me Center, St. Francis Healthcare Systems, and KBSI have been wonderful. We have a variety of sponsors, over 13, that's really helping keep this free to the community. So we hope people come and enjoy it.
Everybody go get registered. Space is limited, and it is the free Behavioral Health and Wellness Conference coming up July 23rd. It is from 8 to 4. That falls on a Wednesday, so tell your boss you need that day off. Wendy, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.